All right, guys. Good morning, good evening, or good
Oh, I got
afternoon,
it.
wherever
Can I
you're
play
at
the
in the world.
this?
I'll mute everybody out here.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, welcome in from around the world, and we are worldwide. And I'm Phil Franklin. I'm over here in my home office in Grand Junction, Colorado. Just got back from Sturgis, so man, I'll tell you, I did not want to miss tonight. I drove all night long, took off at 6 o'clock last night, and got home at 6 o'clock this morning. Took a nap, and been 150 miles an hour in 100 different directions. So it is my pleasure to be on this call. Guys, I was actually one of the first platinums in the company and first pro platinum. And that's not to give me any accolades. That's to tell you guys that you can do this. I mean, look at me. I'm a biker. Like I said, I just got back from Sturgis. I got my first 9 people in the first day. And from that point on, it's just been sharing it with friends and family and new friends, and boy, we got lots of great things happening on the side. You guys are going to end up hearing about. Boy, when I first got involved, I got introduced to this company because of a good friend of mine, Dave Jamford. And he told me he needed to introduce me to his strategic partner, Mr. Steve Jameson. And when he told me a little bit about Steve, that he was with Omni and he was the CEO there, and that's where Dave met him. And then he had 3 other companies that he did over $4 billion in sales with. And then he was the top ISV Zoom partner in the world. And they didn't want to do this technology. And when he showed me what this technology was, take in mind that it was 1.0. Now we're in 2.0. Everybody's using it. Everybody's loving it. The product just flat works. And Steve, man, you just can't outdo the man. I mean, he's honest as the day is long, integrous. I mean, I am so happy to be part of a company like this. These guys are going to change the whole industry, and it doesn't matter what industry you're in. It can be in insurance, it can be in brick and mortar, it could be in network marketing, or it could be a realtor. I mean, we've got them all. And to be part of something like this, it's my pleasure and honor to be able to introduce you to Mr. Steve Jameson.
Well, thank you, Phil, and welcome everyone tonight. And again, this is not about me. This isn't about Phil. This is really about you. I just want you to know, if you're here for the first time, we're all here for you, and you're going to hear from a lot of people about why they were in your place at one time and are equally as excited as we think you're going to be. So as Phil said, I was the CEO of 3 different international sales and marketing companies for about 25 or 30 years. I don't know how long I've been saying it, so that's why I don't know the number. But I was lucky because then I was able to become a consultant to my old competitors and get even with them one more time. And I think I enjoyed that just as much as the first 25 years. Then I opened up a technology company so I can actually be a good consultant. And that's where Zoom found me. Zoom said that they were going public. They wanted to get as much market share as possible. And they thought my relationships could help them get there really quickly. And you know what? They were right. We became the largest ISV partner to Zoom in the world for about 4.5 years, which is a fancy way of saying we brought them more customers than anyone else but themselves. And then I couldn't quite let go of my CEO hat. And I went to them and I said, guess what, guys? I think there's a way to do this better. Now, you may be surprised to know they didn't really appreciate that. They actually thought it was a great idea, but because they're going public, they were more interested in their P&L than their customer experiences. So they said, let's look at that down the road. Well, I'm not a down the road guy. I'm in a moment by, and I want to show you today why I made that decision without a big explanation. I want to show you right now. I want you to take your mouse on your computer, take your phone on your finger, your iPad, whatever device you have that you're viewing this through, and realize that screen is live and interactive. Not just for you, but for every single person in this phone call. And you know what? It's also in complete privacy. That's right. Whether this be Amway, Nu Skin, Shopify, Amazon, you name it, whatever website I want to pull up in the world, at the touch of a button, I can make it interactive. And that means you can purchase, you can enroll, you can sign a contract, you could book an appointment, you could download a newsletter. Every single time now, whether you're a customer or a host, and someone makes their best presentation, We're changing that fortune in the follow-up to start right now. I don't know if you realize how transformational that is, whether it be a live webinar or how about this, a recorded webinar. That's right. How hard is it to get people on a live webinar, right? With everyone's schedule today. So we figured out how to do the same exact experience, even if you're not there. So we are live and interactive, recorded and interactive. And we got a few other things too. Because we're recorded and interactive, we're able to send for the first time interactive texts, interactive emails. What about broadcasting live to social media? So you can see now how we've grown from a Know-It Zoom into a complete touchpoint platform. So whether you are 25 or 55, whether you're email, old school, live webinar, recorded webinar, text, email, however you reach out to your people, the only difference now is they can make that decision for that call to action exactly when you want to do it. We did a few other things too. We live in a multilingual world. I don't know if you're aware, in Google Translate alone, more than 1 billion downloads of their Translate app. It's only 8 billion people. I'd say that's pretty good market penetration. So what we wanted to do is take away every single barrier to entry. So you know what? During this meeting, if we wanted to turn on the live translation, you can choose from among 42 different languages in the language that you want to hear me in. It could 42 different languages simultaneously, and whatever language you're speaking to me, I'd be able to hear you. That is the experience that we're trying to create here. So we are live and interactive, recorded and interactive, text, email, social media, international voice translations, and two other things I want to bring up. How many of you have worked with big sales teams? When I say that I did $4 billion in sales, I didn't do any of them. It was all people from all over the world who had great experiences with products and shared them with other people. Now, every single person in a sales team has a different strength and weakness. Some people are great presenters. I hope you think I am. Some people are great at inviting people and gathering people. In our experience, you can create multiple invite links to the same meeting, give those invite links to as many people as you want in your sales team to fill up that webinar with potentially up to 600 people, and they will get credit through the sale through that invite link with your company, whether it be, again, Amway, Nu Skin, Herbalife, Shopify, Amazon, doesn't matter the company. If you've got an infrastructure in place to be able to pay people with affiliated replicated websites, our links will track it for you. Finally, before we start to hear from some other people tonight, I do want to share one other problem that I think that we solved. People cannot be in two places at once, right? That's kind of like gravity. You could count on that. What if we threw gravity out the window and we said for the first time you can? So what we did is we created the ability for you to do AI avatar twins of yourself or any other person that you want. Maybe you want it to be your chief marketing officer, your virtual assistant, your executive assistant. Not to replace you during a live webinar. We still think you're the best talent you have. Your website is the best content you have. But what about using AI twins to help drive people to the meeting, follow up with people in the meeting? I could tell you after seeing, I don't know, several tens of millions of webinars over the past years, I've never seen anyone watch a 45-minute replay who didn't make a decision the first time. But what they will watch is maybe a 4 or 5-minute summary highlighting the reasons that maybe they missed it, why they didn't make the decision, or onboard people, or thank people. These AI avatar twins, which seemed like an oh, by the way, have become an integral part of people's marketing in order to reach people with creativity and innovation, to get them right here, to get them in front of you, to make your best presentation with your best content. So what I like to do on Tuesdays is we like to create a special guest who sometimes is alive, sometimes is not, but we get to imagine what they would think about Pxch. And the reason I'm showing this to you is I want you to realize this was created a few hours ago with a screenshot off of Google, a 30-second clip of their voice from a YouTube video, and what I'd like you to think of as the clever script. And so the point of this is not what we can create, but what you can create right here on our platform.
Many years ago, I hosted and wrote various versions of an opening monologue that I would say before every episode, which became as iconic as the TV series itself. That show was called The Twilight Zone. After seeing what Pxch and a little imagination can do with interactive live and recorded webinars, texts, emails, social media, and real-time voice translations, I think it's time to give that opening sequence an update one more time. When you experience Pxch, you are traveling through another dimension, a dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind. A journey into a wondrous land whose boundaries are those of imagination. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. When you touch the screen for the first time, you've just crossed over into the Pxch Interactive Touchpoint platform. The show dealt with many themes, but none greater than the juxtaposition of creating new emerging technologies with unimaginable solutions, while simultaneously creating new anxiety and fears among people who did not yet know how to embrace them. Great technology closes the gap between unimaginable solutions and someone's ability to understand the implications. Fear and distrust of technology are not new to this generation or unfounded. In one episode, we raised the fear and the promise of technology through the eyes of a meek and mild-mannered librarian who was facing execution because his job and life were perceived to be obsolete because information was now available on demand through the newest computers and books were no longer perceived as necessary. But maybe our most insightful episode was about aliens, not the illegal ones, the ones from outer space who brought us the fear of the unknown, but also gave us a book entitled To Serve Man. With a recipe that cured diseases, cleaned pollution, and yielded unlimited amounts of food. Unfortunately, it was also a cookbook to serve man at the dinner table to those very same aliens who found us a complete and utter delight and a rare delicacy. While humans and technology have always had a natural, unnatural, and instinctive rivalry, time has proven that we have both served each other well. Technology will never improve the quality or the essence of who we are, but it can provide the conditions for us to improve who we can become. Pxch may have started out as a simple alternative webinar platform, but now it is changing the meaning of sales and time, turning any time into a real-time interactive moment, no matter how you choose to reach out to someone. It is allowing tomorrow to be today and giving access to yesterday's information from a completely new perspective through our interactive recordings. So enter the Pxch zone and unlock your door to imagination. Looking forward to seeing what you unleash.
I hope you guys enjoyed that. Isn't it amazing that the same question that he's been asking it since 1959 in his show when he started, how does technology fit into our society, is raging on campuses today? But more importantly for us, I wanted to show you how it fits into Pxch. And so now I want you to do is hear from people who are using Pxch, promoting Pxch, building their business with it, experiencing the same innovation that you can see why I'm fairly excited about it. So first, let's go to Minnesota and Mr. Jared Kays.
All right, what's up, guys? Can everybody hear me good? We're good? Thumbs up? Love it. Perfect. So, hey, hopefully everybody's having a great night tonight. I always like to try and keep my part short, but bring a little bit of value to everybody in the community here. So I want you to think about something. We talk a lot about live interactive shopping, right? And if anybody on the call has ever heard of Gary Vaynerchuk, you'll know that he has been a preacher of live shopping being one of the biggest industries globally. And he thinks it's going to be one of the best ways to make and sell products through live shopping experiences. So what better opportunity than to be in front of a Pxch platform that allows us to do it? Now that's fun to say and share that, but I want you to think about some numbers. I'm pretty analytical. On a global level, live shopping markets annually do over 230 billion. Okay. 230 billion annually on live shopping markets. The US alone does over 14.6 billion annually on live shopping markets. Okay. Do you think that having a platform that allows for live interaction and live interaction during replays might be a smart move for you to get in the forefront of a movement that allows that technology? I think we're in the right place at the right time. I think we're all agree with that, and we're ready to go ahead and have an explosion here with the Pxch platform for everybody out there. So appreciate you guys.
Thank you, Jared. And I love numbers that begin with a B, right? Billions in sales. But another word that begins with B is books. And Phil has started to introduce him a little early before the call started, because he is somebody who's actually helped create more best-selling #1 authors in the world than anyone else, certainly in my circle. And I worked in Success Magazine, so my circle was pretty big at that time. And that's Mr. Robert W. Jones.
Thank you, Steve. Good to be here. I like to say Robert W. Jones. People always ask me what the W is, and I say, wow. No, actually, my dad, I got my name from my dad, and it was Wesley. And, one of the things that my dad always used to tell me, and he was a smart man. I hope you guys have great dads out there. And he told me one thing of value in my entire life. No, I'm just kidding. He told me more than one thing in my entire life. But he said, I want to tell you what great companies are judged by. But first, I'm going to tell you what they're not judged by. They're not judged by solely their balance sheets. They're not judged by solely their ideas. They're not judged by the marketing metrics. They're not even judged by what is seen in the media. They're judged by the people that are in their organization. I'm going to say that again. They're judged by the people that are in their organization. And one of the reasons why I love working with Steve and with Phil and the team and David, the team at Pxch, is because they really do sincerely put their people first, ahead of even themselves and their organization. And there have not been a part of such team where you have the CEO that says yes, not no, not maybe, not tomorrow, not next week, but he's there to say yes. And that is something to say. Now, with my company, we have clients in over 40 nations around the world. And one of the biggest things that we have found is some time back, we were coming up in a hurdle. And the hurdle was, how do we get into South America? How do we get into Africa? How do we start taking our books? And we've had thousands of authors selling hundreds of thousands of books into these marketplaces. Because what was happening is this other platform that starts with a Z was crashing, was needing updates, was not applicable to the local bandwidth of the people that were using this platform. And we were stuck. We were in a place where we were looking at how do we keep growing and reaching voices of the world so they can become a part of this amazing community in the Art of Connection, iNet Publishing House, and the other ventures that we're doing. And it wasn't until one day I was introduced to this program called Pxch. And what Pxch has done is it has allowed us to have a web-based program to reach people in countries that would otherwise never be able to hear us, let alone purchase from us. And that is, for me and my company, a game changer, a value proposition for who we serve in our own organization, and certainly a way to channel into the markets that we are in. Now, I don't speak Swahili, and I speak Spanish very poorly, but I can say this about Pxch. They make me look like I know what I'm talking about, even if it's a language that's not English, and I don't even do that very well. So my testimony here tonight is, and let's talk metrics. Just because of Pxch, we found out that there was a need in North America and South America of creating an economic bridge. In North America, Canada, the United States, and Mexico, and certainly United States and Canada, we use Google Places. In South America, there's over 12 million businesses wanting to reach out and be a part of the Norte Americano marketplace. 12 million, which, Steve, I know you like bees, but let's talk T's, because we're talking trillions of dollars in commerce that can come from North and South America. And we are basing our model and the construction of the conduit between North and South America and the commerce on Pxch, because it allows us to reach the locals that we are signing up for our Google Places program through Tourist Link. And so, Steve, I just want to say thank you for that. And the reason why I am not here enough is you're keeping me too busy, my friend. You're keeping me too busy.
Well, I just want you to know, Robert, I'm teachable. I can move from the B's to the T's pretty seamlessly. I'm okay with that. And I also going to move to our next speaker, right? Who's somebody who I would say, if he embodies, right, what we tried to create here at Pxch, and has been such an integral part of helping develop the platform, because he uses the platform more than anyone else. He recruits more people on the platform than anyone else. And he has just tremendous insight about how many people in many different verticals are taking advantage of it. Ray, and why don't you share that, Mr. Ray Jatan?
Good evening, everybody. Ray Jatan from Columbia, Missouri area. I found out about Pxch from a guy I go to church with. He said, Ray, there's a new platform coming out that's going to change the way we do business. And I know the owner, and his partner is my best friend from college. So that's how I found out about it. And at the time I was offering business products and services to small to medium-sized businesses. So this fit right in with what I was already doing. But what I found out quickly is I was really interested in the opportunity here, mainly because those other industries that I worked in were super competitive. And with this, I found that I didn't have a whole lot of competition. I mean, our market is 550 million people a day that get on a virtual call like this, and hundreds of millions more that are watching recorded messages. And now the fact that we have the ability to do the avatars and create interactive messaging and so forth, people are booking more appointments on their calendars. They're making more sales, just even in a recording. So that's what excites me. The market here is everybody. So instead of being isolated to a certain market, it's really every vertical out there: real estate, insurance, direct sales, coaching, gosh, you name it. Anybody that needs to do a webinar or send a message and now find out that they can do it interactively, that's our market. And so I don't have any competition, and I like putting myself in that position of being in a strategic place. And like the previous two speakers said, this thing is going ballistic, and there's a limited time really to take advantage of this. And you are in, or could be in, if you're not already, at the front end of this. So thank you, everybody.
No, thank you, Ray. And as what I love about webinars is you really can create an emotional connection with people, even though you're not in the same room. And as we go from Missouri all the way across to Kansas City, somebody who created an emotional connection with me when she simply said hello, because she's so dynamic, and that is Miss Tina Deer. Tina, are you there? Unmute yourself.
Good evening. Yes, I'm here in Dallas, Texas. I've been all over the place. Thanks for inviting me to be on the call tonight. I've had so much fun using the product this week. Monday, I had a call in the morning called Jolt of Joy for Jesus. And I thought, you know what? I want to use my Pxch service, and I want people to fall in love with this. When I was young and a new Christian, I would read the Bible and put me to sleep. But then later on in life, it became like a hot romance novel. And I thought, you know what? I want people to fall in love with the Word of God like I have. So this Monday, 1 hour. So I thought, God, what time do I want this call to start? 8 o'clock in the morning. And I'm going to read the Bible. So I sent out to different communities, join my webinar at Pitch, and I sent the gift. The link is called the gift. And so anyways, I started on Monday and there's already people, and this is teaching me how to use my product that I bought and doing something for the Lord as well. So I'm excited. Thanks for having me on the call tonight.
We're excited. We have some really dynamic women on tonight's phone call, I could tell you that. But before I show you the next dynamic woman, I want to show you a dynamic gentleman. In fact, the first time I met him, he told me that he was an online, marketing expert. And of course, I researched him. And I remember when I first said hello to him, he said, "No, I am the internet." Let's just get right to the point. I am the internet, right? And that's Mr. Tom Chesser. Hey, Tom, you're on mute.
Yeah. Steve, man, I think the world of you. You know that. I love your product. I love your approach. I love the opportunity. And that's why I really wanted to feature you on Business Innovators Magazine as the go-to person for such a thing as this, because I think you were created for a time like this. It's just matching up the marriage that we create with each other. And, there's a lot of things been going on. I love the young lady from Dallas, Texas, because we're just involved with another deal in Alvarado where they were having actually a healing service. Over 30 people attended. It was an amazing miracle opportunity, and we're fixing to hear more. And I'm bringing that to Pxch. Just recently I was on a deal for Bangladesh. Bangladesh was celebrating 2 years since the slaughter, actually, of the college students in Bangladesh, and they're wanting to do their deal. And, it was all from their country. To be honest with you, being on that deal, I couldn't understand a word they were saying, and they wanted me as their guest. And to talk about how humanity needs to be exploded as far as the needs around the world for the suffering of those people that have endured such hardship, and Pxch is an ideal product for such things like this. Recently, I was just invited to be a part of the National Chaplains Association. That's something else that I've been working just with in Washington, D.C., as you guys well knew. It's for Freedom 250. But, this is a time for all of us to come together to get the message out there. And looking for a solution like this was the perfect timing with Steve, and Phil. And I'm just really wanting to connect more of the dots. Now there's more dots to be connected, because this is really what I do it for, is for the kingdom of heaven. So, in Washington, D.C., in the agricultural building on the celebration of the 250th birthday, we had a service. And in that time, there was a choir that sung the song, "I'm Not Ashamed of the Gospel of Jesus Christ." That was the same choir that sung for President Trump in his inauguration. That was the same minister that prayed the prayer that was heard around the world. And that's the same people that are part of the Pastors for POTUS. It's time that all of us come together to get a message out. And I can't think of a better way to do that than, honestly, Pxch. And if I could just have more time, that's all I ask God for, is just more time to be able to get this message out to more people. So Phil and Steve, thank you so much. You guys are miracle workers, and I thank you for Pxch, because Pxch is the place to come call home for so many people that want to get a message out. So thank you.
No, thank you, Tom. And you talk about miracles. I know I'm not supposed to have my favorites, but I do. And one of our next speakers is one of my favorites, because you talk about taking this product around the world. Well, let's go around the world. Let's go to China right now and introduce, again, just a lovely woman. Shishu, say Shushi. I'm sorry, I know I always say it wrong. I'm just going to call you Sue, okay? Just introduce yourself and let everyone see what I see every time I meet you.
Oh, that's so lovely, Steve. Thank you so much. Hi, everybody. My name is Sishu. Good evening to you and good morning to me. It's a bright day over here on Wednesday at 9:30 a.m. I want to be completely honest with you guys. Before I dive deeper into joining Pxch, my plate was already full. Like, I am a career coach, I'm an interior designer, and I'm deeply involved with, the e-learning platform, the Discovery. I'm sure some of you guys already know. I wasn't looking to add another major focus in my life. But then I met someone from the leadership team and everything shifted. And his name is Rick Amico, and I'm sure a lot of you already know him. What hit me right away was his huge heart and his authenticity and his deep care for the vision and the community behind it. And we had like 3.5 hour conversation at our first call. Like wasn't anything sales related, just kind of connecting and get to know each other. And in the end, when he was showing me Pxch, he literally didn't trying to sell me on anything. He just kind of asked me about my website, and then he pulled it up and he asked me to click on it. I'm like, what did you just do there? Do it again. So it was so intriguing. And then later on, when I learned about the opportunity, I have, an honor and fortunate interaction with Steve and also his partner Dave, and they shared about where a Pxch is heading to and how much there's divine guidance behind it. Like I'm a super spiritual person. When I heard that, I feel like I'm now putting Pxch from my head to my heart. And I feel like in business and in life, like it is so rare to find like a moment where the timing, the product and service, and the people all align at once. And I'm sure a lot of you guys know about that famous Chinese book, The Art of War. When the timing, location, advantage, and people are in alignment, it is a winning battle. And I think Pxch is what we have here that's going to be a winning battle for all of us. And that being said, I realized this wasn't just another opportunity. It's something I cannot say no to. So speaking here tonight, I just feel like there's no doubt that I am in the exactly right place. And I'm so thrilled to be here and excited to see where we're heading to. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much. Just so you know, the sequel is The Art of Pxch. That's coming out soon. Okay. Robert
I love
book in that point of view. Okay, so we have two more speakers before our final speaker wraps it up tonight. And again, like I say, dynamic, powerful women who are on this phone call tonight. And you'll see that as you hear from our next speaker. Chandra, grab that microphone.
Hi, Steve. Hi, everyone. Pxch family. Thanks for having me on the call tonight. It's definitely an honor. I am very thrilled with what's been going on with transformational wellness, and also, just utilizing Pxch as a platform to, get a hold of, not just like the United States, but global, audience. And I'll just make it really short and sweet. I really appreciate everything that you do, Steve. Also, Phil. You both are my go-to people for sure. Anything that revolves around, getting the word out there, the message, on a global scale. So thank you.
Thank you, Chandra. We appreciate you. And again, our next speaker is not a powerful woman, but I understand he looks good as a woman. So I don't know what he may show tonight. And that is Mr. Greg Galley. Go for it, my friend.
Hey, Steve, how are you? Geez, I get to follow up all these phenomenal folks and some of their stories. I'm not going to try to top that because I can't, but I want to give you just a quick little background on myself. I guess I would have to say an adventurous or colorful life so far. I've had three different careers. One was a firefighter paramedic for 10 years on Miami Beach. The other, I was a flight attendant for American Airlines for 20. I found the time freedom and the travel benefits that everybody want to do. I just happened to get paid to go do that. And then I was a teaching playing tennis pro for 25 years. And I got my start initially in this crazy affiliate networking arena back in the early 90s with the big H company, Herbalife. And as I was listening to all of the uses for Pxch today, it made me reflect back on what I did. I guess I was smart enough or maybe intuitive enough to realize that I could take my products with me on my airline trips. I could run an ad in the USA Today paper with the old 800 phone number. American paid for my layover hotels. So I did my meetings in 5-star hotels around the country and out of the country. And I built myself a very nice international business with Herbalife that moved me up the ladders pretty well. And for that time, I really thought it was ingenious because I wasn't paying any money to recruit. I had a beautiful place to do my meetings, or at least my one-on-ones. And then I went to the same destination about 4 times a month. So from the first of the month to the end of the month, my group grew because the products were working. And end of the month, I'd get a meeting room in a hotel, do a meeting. And if my group was getting bigger, I could bid the same trip for next month. But reflecting back on what I did and listening tonight, if I had had Pxch, I could have done all of that from the comfort of the laptop or my phone. So, what we have to me is just so absolutely amazing. And I have a very good friend that's done incredibly well in this arena, mostly in the nutrition space. We talked about 3 days ago. Their company is ready. They're going to be able to take their products into Japan. And I'd mentioned this to him a couple of months ago. And he said, "So you're telling me that I don't speak Japanese. I do have contacts. I can do my opportunity meetings, hit a button and talk, and I'm going to be able to talk Japanese to a group of folks." And I said, "Yes, you can." So I'm going to leave it at that, Steve, and turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Greg. And you point out what's really unusual about our opportunity is, Jim Rohn was famous for saying, if you want to get what you want in life, you have to have other people get what they want. That's the whole premise of our platform. We want to build Herbalife. We want to build Nu Skin. We want to build Amway. We want to build Shopify, eBay, DocuSign, insurance companies. That's how we will be measured, right? By the success that we have helping everyone with the companies they're currently working in. And then we'll find our place right on that shelf. And somebody who knows how to find his place on the shelf, right? As he's helped literally millions of people around the world selling all different products and services as an international sales trainer for the past 30 years, is going to try to make sense right now about everything that you heard today. And that's Mr. Harry Newhan.
Oh, thank you very much, Steve. Boy, these stories are so exciting. It's like we're bringing the world together in such a positive way. And Tom mentioned something. He wished he had more time. That's one of the things that Pxch allows you to do, is it saves you time, money, and energy in getting your message out there, especially now with the avatar digital twins. We can be in more than one place at a time. So it's so exciting. And you say, okay, well, that's great. I'm excited. How do I get started? We actually have 3 different places you can get started. And Steve's bringing it up on the screen in just a second here. But we have plans for everybody. We've got our individual plans, which start as low as $25 and $45. And that's where you can get the same services. You just get more of them. You get so many guests per webinar. You get so much cloud storage for the videos that you make. You get several things in there. The duration of the webinars that you're doing, and you get all the support is included. And so those are our individual plans. So we've got something for everybody. And then we have our business plans. We've got 2 of those. One is $69 a month. The other one is $99 a month. And these are exciting for multiple reasons. One, you get more of the services. You get more guests, more time, up to 5 hours for a webinar. So if you do long webinars and big workshops and boot camps, it's perfect for you. You also get more people that you can have. You get up to 600 people in one webinar. And so it's so functional no matter where you're at. Another beautiful thing about the business plans is we have a special built-in organic growth mechanism. And here's what it is if you get 3 active members and you're on one of the business plans, you get 3 active members on the business plan, you get yours free. So as long as they're on a plan that you're on or higher on the business plans, you get yours free every month. So every time they renew, you get yours free. So I took advantage of that without even knowing it. The first 8 days, I got 5 members. So I haven't paid since the first month. And many people do the same thing. And then they said also on the business plans, as soon as you get 5 or more referrals, then you can earn a residual income off of their monthly subscriptions from 10 to 30% every single month. And so it created a secondary source of income for me and for many other people. So if you have a brand and you are promoting that brand, here's all the three things that we do. And by the way, the third place you can get started is we have an enterprise program for companies. So there's companies out there that have 1,000 licenses, 2,000 licenses. Some companies have more. And I wasn't aware of this, but there's companies that pay Zoom and Google and Microsoft hundreds of thousands of dollars a month just for their webinar platform. And so that's a market that we are going to tap into. Why? Because Pxch offers so much more. Think about a company that has a tech team in the Philippines. They have to hire a translator to get the communication going, or India or Pakistan. Now they can do it all from the comfort of their laptop. And so we've eliminated that huge expense and barrier to expansion. How about local communities that are the barrier of language? We've accomplished that. So those three areas of individual plan, business plans, and enterprise program. Now, what do we do? There's only three things that we do. And it's so simple, it sounds crazy. We use the product every single day. And you saw from the stories here tonight how using the product gets people excited. They experience the technology and they get excited. They say, oh my God, how did you do that? Is that something I can use for my brand? Now, if you don't have a brand, you can use Pxch as your brand and grow a business. So we use the product. That's the first thing. The second thing we do is we talk to people about what? About the product. When they ask, we talk. So I've been an international sales trainer and coach. So when I started using Pxch, I was using it with my clients, and I introduced a couple of friends, and they said, Harry, how did you do that? And can I use that for my business? And I said, absolutely. And that's how it starts to grow. So we use the product, we talk to people, and then we demo the product. Why? Because talking about it gets them excited. But when they experience it, it changes the whole atmosphere of the conversation because now they know it's real. And Steve has been generous with his calendar. He actually does live demos every single day, Monday through Thursday. His calendar is open for anybody to take advantage of it. I even sometimes now still use Steve to do demos for me and my prospects. I've learned to do them myself. So has many of the other leaders, but Steve is there. He's got his calendar open for us to do it. So use the product, talk to people, we demo the product. And then say, okay, well, I got it. Now, by the way, this screen here is going to be interactive in just a second. It's not yet, Steve. I'm not sure if you know that. Yeah, it is interactive. It's just not showing. So it is interactive. The prices aren't showing, but they will in just a second. But up in the upper right-hand corner, you see the word interactive in green. If you're brand new tonight, or if you didn't know this, you're not new, but you didn't know this, there's three dots underneath that word interactive. If you click those three dots, you can actually open this window up in a new tab. So when you do that, come back to this screen right here. Why do you do that? Why? Because once we shut down this webinar, you can go back to that tab in your browser and it's live and interactive in the browser. So you can look around, do some due diligence, look at the packages, look at the pricing, and then you can pick a plan that fits what you need, whether it's the 25 all the way up to the 99 a month. And so you can pick a plan and then start going through the platform tonight. And what's exciting is tomorrow at 4:00 p.m. Eastern time on this, I think it's the same link, Steve is going to do an onboarding workshop. And he's going to do an onboarding workshop to actually compress time for you. And he's going to compress time by answering any questions, showing you how to set up a meeting, how the platform works, how to build an avatar if that's what you want, the direction you want to go into. And he'll also Q&A for everybody. So as you go through it, write down your questions and answers. Scheduling a meeting, starting a meeting, how to use the translator, what does it do? How many languages are there? What are the languages? So this is all in there. And I know that the people that not just come once, but they stack, they get a lot of information, they apply it, they come back the next day because he does these 4 days a week. But tomorrow is going to be great for you because you can get it for the first time. And then they stack on top and they become very, very efficient with the webinar platform to advance their brand and to build their brand. So we've got that. One other thing this week is kind of special because once a month we do a Saturday success training. And that is this Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern time. You do need to register for it. And there is a registration link. in the WhatsApp group, and the person that invited you can certainly get you that. But you want to get registered for that class on Saturday, because it'll compress time. It'll turn months into 1 hour. That's how much you'll learn. Steve's going to share his amazing vision with us, what's coming up on Pxch, how we got started, where we're at, and what's coming soon. We've got some exciting things that aren't in the platform yet that they're coming. It's going to blow you away, and it's going to bring more and more people into the platform. So with that, real quick, use the product, talk to people, demo, get started on the individual plans, the business plan, and then come to the workshop tomorrow at 4:00, the onboarding workshop, to speed everything up. So with that, Steve, I think I got it all.
You did. And look forward to seeing everyone tomorrow. It's going to be a great week. Thanks very much, everybody. Appreciate you.
Thanks from the UK.
Thank you,
Have a great
ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Muchas gracias.
Hey, I have a question.